Starting now, okay? Okay, first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Suleiman, and I did a MS in Geospatial Sciences. In the specific field, I did my bachelor also. I When I joined the center, National Center of Excellence in Geology, so there was a project called Plateau cohort plateau mapping, and they are linked with some remote sensing technologies that enhance or precise the mapping in the cohort plateau in northern regions. So there is some modules, some procedures in this upcoming slides in this presentation regarding the geology or mineral exploration, which enhances our findings and product maps. So first of all, I will literally introduce about as you know, the variety of GIS remote sensing is vast, and many fields the GIS remote sensing utilizes more as expected. But in the field of GIS, the field of geology and mineral exploration, the analyzing and the visualization in the repetition of the vast area is very important and easily conducted by these kind of technologies. So GIS aids in creating the detailed geographical maps showing rock types, even though you can generate your fault lines and other formations. Specifically, if there's a lot of sensor which is used to delineate or demarcate the different minerals exploration activities used in different mineral exploration activities like the hyperspectral or the multispectral remote sensing to identify the mineral based on their spectral properties. So GIS enables overall analysis combining the geochemical, geophysical, and geological data set to pinpoint the areas which have a rich mineral resources. So if you going forward, so it's not only rely on the mapping, but it also give an opportunity of a 3D modeling. Like a GIS and remote sensing data creates a 3D models for subsurface structures and also helps in accurate resources to targeting in maximizing the exploration activities. Also, the geospatial capabilities, and also today the era of AI and machine learning can predict the mineral rich zones based on the spatial pattern, boosting exploring and efficiency and successful rates. So this is the short and a brief intro of the GIS and remote sensing, that we can use these kind of setups in our work and our programs to enhance the capability to sense or map the geological and mineral exploration activities. So this is all about the remote sensing, that how remote sensing is capable to delineate or de-integrate the different rock types and its units and also their composition. So every satellite have their specific bands, like when a person download a satellite data, so there is in data there is a lot of bands which represent a specific portion of the electromagnetic spectrum, and every rock body have their specific electromagnetic spectrum. By using a different module and upcoming sliding I will discuss in detail. So these modules uses these region of infrared portions and delineate the specific target of lithological units and also a mineral usually on its surface. According to a USGS geological survey, that every minerals have their specific and a significant narrow reflection, which range between RGB. Some are near infrared, some are in infrared, but every portion of the lithological physical geology or the lithological units have their specific reflection, which accept the satellite and delineate these kind of units. So based there is a lot of a way to present my presentation, but I refer to uh, a published paper of my site. Title is the Lithological mapping of the North Quad Plateau limestone outcropping using the integrated remote sensing and reflectance spectroscopy techniques. So these paper include all the modules or the work processing which is applied to delineate the carbonation strata there in the Kohut Plateau. And also there we use in some sophisticated tools like a DJI drone to monitor or to capture the strata from top of you. Then we use a retrospectrometer device which tell us about the specific spectra of the target region of the carbonation strata. So we will focus on this side and focus in this on this study area. So the results will in upcoming sliding you will see the results of different modules. Like if I introduce this study area, so this study area is another part of Kohut district. The study area encompasses about the 42 square kilometer and having the elevation between 600 to 800 meters. These, if I talking about the stratigraphy, so there is a hilly tops of salt, gypsum, and limestone, and also some resources of natural gases. And if you see the right side, so there is some picture showing the strata of the carbonaceous strata, which represent the fossils and other incurring elements in this strata. So the aim and objective is in this study is to examine the potential of the very near in infrared, short infrared, and thermal bands, that how this band is capable to delineate the limestone or carbonation strata within the study area. The second point is that the second aim and objective is that to validate the remote sensing based results with the spectroscopic properties of a radio spectrometer, which have a device uh, which target the strata based on the spectral properties. The third one is, if after combining the multispectral data with radio spectroscopy device, then if we finalize the resultant product, then we can check with the old published map. So, and then we will show in the last that how the remote sensing can precisely delineate the carbonaceous strata regarding the old map. So these are the four main objectives which cover these studies. The we in this study the importance of electromagnetic spectrum, and they are linked with the spectroscopic study, and they are linked with the old published map will be gone soon. So these in this study two kind of satellite sensor used. The first one is the Sentinel-2 and the second one the Aster. If I'm talking about the Sentinel, so Sentinel have a very good resolution. It give us a very good resolution of 10 meter. But if I talk about the Aster, so their resolution is 15 meter. The Sentinel have varieties of band like the red edge band, or tree vegetation red edge band, but it lacks having a thermal band. But Aster have varieties or three varieties like near infrared, short infrared, and thermal infrared. So some of the processes we will do and done based on the Sentinel, and some of in using the Aster data. So the first analysis called the principal component analysis. So the first analysis is also used by a variety of researchers which delineate their study and their area of interest using the remote sensing data with some modules to delineate the surface features. So the principal component analysis in an approach used in the remote sensing studies. It allows user to enhance the spectral values of multispectral remote sensing data that is used in the specific study. And the second step is to decolorate the output bands. After decoloriating the output bands, it enhances the computational processes of the band so that the band enhances the feature reflections. So in every PC1, it focus on a specific object on specific feature. Like in this study, PC1 analysis is applied to 6 bands, like 3 bands of RGB, 1 bands of near infrared, and 2 bands of shortwave infrared, or using the sentinel data. The spectral responses extracted from the target minerals or the rock body determine the spectral information of a target material, whether it absorbed with white or low in pixels. Usually, the species one having a maximum amount of the spectral information consider as an effective PC1s in an image. Like you see this kind of image, these are also processed from a PCA. So the first one, PCA, delineate the carbonaceous strata in a white tone. Like you see this image, so all the strata of carbonation is in white. If I talk about the second PC, so the PC second discriminate the clay minerals, and this clay minerals called a Kuldana clays, and the third one represent the camlial formations like in white stone. So when a person apply a PCA, so it decorrelate the band's output information, and every band give us a specific tone of a specific geological feature. And if I talk about the fourth PC1, so it give us a topography of our strata. So the topography of a strata is you see in a whitish tone of a narrow lines around throughout the study area. After that, if when after receiving products from a PCA like PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, then we go towards their graphical representation. So in a graphical representation, the diagram show their correlation or decorrelation. The PC1 shows a decorrelation having a huge amount. Certainly, the PCA2 is also shows us a very good result, and a PC4. So by combining the PC1, PC2, and PC4, so it gave us a resultant map in RGB. So you can easily de-integrate the carbonaceous strata. In a yellow one, the camlial formation is a pink one, and also the blue one is a Kuldana clays. So it differentiate the different features based on the PCA module. Also, this diagram also show that the PC 1, 2, 3, and 4 are very good to combine as RGB, because the PC 5 and PC 6 having a lot of noise. No single feature is delineated easily within these two PCs. So this is the PC1 PCA results of delineating the lithological features. The second step and the second module that is important to also delineate a feature, because every module have their specific variety of their working. Some decorrelate the bands, some correlate the bands, some correlate the band step by step. So an independent component analysis is a computational, also a statistical analysis that transform the linear transformation that uses the high order statistic between its components. So it's also pick and calculate and process the band which have the high amount of their DNS values and a high amount of information. The IC is much more powerful technique from the PC and MNF, the minimum noise fraction, because it reveal more spectral information regarding these two modules like PCA and MNF. In this case study, I combine the ICA 3, 4, and 6 as a RGB, so it delineate the Camlial clay is a green, and Kuldana clay is a green, and Camlial is a light blue, and is a dark blue. You see that is the carbonaceous strata. If I talking about the second image, so I combine the two ICA 2, 3, and 6. Later on, I will do a short exercise on that, so you can learn and understand the things very clearly and easily. So I combine the band 3, band 2, and 6. So the resultant image shows the Camlial clays in red, and also syncline shows the Kuldana formation, and also the topography, the light syncline also represent the carbonaceous strata. If I move toward the minimum noise fraction, so minimum noise fraction is also a computational process which extract the feature and minimize the noise from band to band. In noise fraction, if you see the table, the band 1 have a low noise fraction. Then the band 2, after processing the bands through the minimum noise fraction module, so it gives us a 6 bands. Between this, among the 6 bands, the first band have very low noise up to 35%. The second one is 48%, and the third one is a 67. So I chose these 3 bands for my final resultant map. So in the last resultant map, it also shows different feature of study areas in different variation of color. Like you see the water in red, the clay is in pink, and the Kuldana is in ruby color, and also a light green color shows the carbonaceous strata. So previously, the researcher went there and using their conventional techniques to delineate or to map the different feature of lithological and geological feature there in the study area. But remote sensing and using of the GIS capabilities, you can easily delineate with kind of some modules and also a precise mapping in this regarding is you see in the resultant map. The first one, then we move toward the band ratio. So the band ratio is also a very common technique and also used by a different famous researcher in geology like Rajendran and NNX. So the band ratio techniques is basically an effective and a small method used in order to enhancing the spectral sensitivity of a feature and also help us in mineral exploration activities. This technique is widely used by us scientists, and also in this technique, one band is divided by another band to enhance the spectral capability. Like in this presentation, you see that the Abraham type band ratio by 5 by 7, 4 by 5, 3 by 1 is just purely for the carbonaceous data. If a person download the spectral data of aster, and if he or she divided the 5 band on 7, then 4 and 5 and 3 and 1, and then combine, so it also easily disintegrate the or delineate the carbonaceous strata as well. If you see the band ratio of 5 by 7, so it also shows a features of carbonation strata and a geological feature around this lake. The 4 by 5 also represent a different feature in different tone. So if you combine these three band ratios, so it give you a very good and prominent result. And one spectral channel dividing by another spectral channel also enhance the data availability, the data representation, and also enhance the spectral sensitivity of the lithological units. So in different authors, some of Abraham or Rajendra uses different or make their own tested band ratios to delineate the specific feature. So band ratio among these three techniques or modules, band ratio is very commonly used by a researcher and geoscientist to delineate the specific portion and also for mineral exploration activities. And the fourth one is carbonate index. Like every feature have their own reflection and they have own sensitivity on a specific band. So if you visit there, there is a paper, Ninomia, who worked in 2000 to delineate the carbonaceous strata or a limestone by dividing band 13 by band 14. If you visit there, the Geological Survey of Pakistan, so there is index which tell you about the specific sensitivity of every feature. Like I search about the carbonate, so in the source tell me that if you use the aster data and divide 13 band by 14 band, so you will directly access and directly delineate the carbonaceous feature. So when I divide the band 13 on band 14, so it automatically delineate the portion where the limestone or the carbonaceous data exists. So this is another module, we will say, or another technique of the band ratio that is specific for a specific mineral. So this study encompasses these four types of modules. Two modules run on the Sentinel data because the Sentinel data have very good RGB result of 10 meter, and the remaining where the spectral resolution is not much needed, but the spectral sensitivity is needed. So we use our band ratios and carbonate index using the aster data. So now coming towards the validation portion. Now I am introducing you a PSR plus radio spectrometer device, that how this device is capable to validate or cross-ref your target feature with the satellite sensor data. Also, we will check our image and take our spectral on every pixel to show or to absorb that where is the reflection and where is the absorption peaks of this carbonate. The third one is after compiling the validation spectrometer and spectral based validation with a pixel value of our satellite data, then we will move toward the previous published map by Ahmad Saab, I think in 2002 or 2000, and cross-ref our carbonaceous data with the old map. So I will literally introduce you a spectrometer instrument. So this is an instrument, a very sensitive device, which have a control room and a GTEC device. And I also show you a video that how this device works. So this is a battery. This is a lens. Lens is used for a volume. Like if you target rock and the rock encompasses different features or different minerals, so you will then use a lens. If you specify a specific feature, like in this paper, we work on a specific feature of carbonate and limestone. So we use a handheld reflecting scope. This is the removable lens, and this is the direct remote control. And this is the dark identification. Rather than we can consolidate our results with USGS spectral library. So before elaborate these slides, I would like to show you a small video which shows how this device works. So this lady have this device, and they just put into a specific feature and just hit the gun button, and then the recording of a specific feature is then saved in their devices. So there is a two kind of spectral information. One called the test spectrum, and the one is the library spectrum. Test spectrum means the spectra of a specific feature that you gather in a field. And the library spectrum means the USGS publish spectral information of features. So in this video, you clearly see that the test spectrum is also very closely correlated with USGS spectra. So it also identify that your feature contains these minerals, and also tell us that which feature is more nearest to these spectral information. So this is the device, and how you use this device feed. I also take different line. I also take a different calculations points throughout this area. So this show all the spectrals of limestone that I took and my study area, which show us that its depth area is 900 nanometers, and another dipping is near to 2100 300 nanometers, and then we use also correlate this with USGS spectral library, and also there it also correlate in ABC region with the carbonation strata. Also, it also make radiation based table. In this table, he first tell me that it's very nearest to a limestone, then nearest to a hematite, and then calcite and hematite and colonite. So this software is also a very important tool after gathering the data using the radio spectrometer in the field. Now come towards the second validation process to validate the spectral of our resultant map with Aster and Sentinel. So when I took a portion there of Aster and Sentinel, so the result also show us that it dipping nearest to 23 nanometers, micrometers, sorry, and one dipping is near to 18 to 1900. And if I talk about the Sentinel, so it dipped near to 23 nanometers. So if I after studying the clerk in 1999, so he also wrote their paper that the carbonate and the calcite also dipping near to 2.3 micrometers and near to 2.4 micrometers. The fourth one is validation of old map and new remote sensing based resultant map. So in this result, you see that the old map just delineate the carbonaceous or the limestone features or units in a gray color, and the remote sensing precisely uh, delineate the features in a white color. So it also strongly correlate with old feature. If someone asking that the remote sensing not cover the overall area, it miss some of the areas, or it delineate a very narrow strip. So it's also in the limitation of the remote sensing, because the remote sensing just capture the delineation area which is fully exposed, having a no vegetation, we have a no forest or other things. So based on these modules, the PCA, MNF, ICA, band ratio, and carbonate index, and their validation with the spectrodiometer, their validation with the pixel base, and their validation with the old published map. So it also give a very good result, and also shows the remote sensing and GIS capabilities, that how it is a powerful tool which will be utilized in geological application. So this will come with a final map of the study area, which shows the cohort limestone based on the remote sensing studies in white, and their reference with cohort limestone on a old published map. So these are all the methods and techniques that is used in this study. Remote sensing is not only used just in specific field or specific application, but I will say that the remote sensing in GIS is used in every field. Like nowadays, I'm working as a GIS and remote sensing expert there in Dome Capi. So in geology, we also used the GIS and remote sensing technologies to enhance the research work in archaeology. I also done a one study which is based on the Kanjur stone. So I would like to introduce this study, which is a part of our geological work, archaeological work. The main aim of this study is to examine the main Buddha, the main sculpture, or the main building block element of a site, that which building block material is used on these sites, on these statues. So this is a short assignment. So I would like to introduce this study also. So you also have I give you a brief intro about the refraction and the radio spectral enhancement of the reflectance. So the reflectance spectroscopy in this study is used. The reflectance spectroscopy absorb uh, uh, the conjure stone, and also map this conjure stone based on their spectral sensitivity. So every feature have their spectral sensitivity. This device PSR plus 3500 series used in this study, I personally gather the samples from our ancient site called a Bilot Sharif there in Dia Khan, and disintegrate these features with a spectroscopy. So this is the two stones or the part of a tomb that I collect there from, and analyze that which portion is including all these features. So in the GSEC lab, we put these, we process these two stones or two part of a tomb using spectroscopy devices. So after processing the result, so the result shows that its dipping is near to 1900 and near to 2300, or crossing or near to 2400. So the red one shows the dipping processes or the dipping knowledge the stones collect in the south portion, and the green one shows the dipping of a spectral, that is the stone collect from a north portion. So both the stones have a specific dipping portions, but little bit have a variation. Maybe it have came with some extra features or some extra minerals. So before starting the study, or before to finalize that which material is used in these archaeological assets, so four steps is used to clarify the result. The first one is the physical examination. The second one is the Mohs hardness scale. The third one is the test with acid, and the fourth one is the spectroscopic match analysis. So why need this kind of procedure to identify the feature, or the identify the part of amount? So it is basically because sometime we collect or we assume a unit that belong to some specific rock, but when we examine in deeply or monitoring deeply, so it may be linked with some other rock. Like in these pictures, you see that these three images also linked and also a little similar to our field features, but the three one is totally different from each another. So that's why we use this kind of testing. The first one is the physical examination. So in every carbonaceous or every sedimentary rock have uh, having some fossils of data, and it's occupies some fossils. So carbonate minerals precipitated out in high temperature. Fossils come into many types, like shells, bones, leaves. Is also called a body fossils. Action or organisms such as the footprints and burrows are also called a trace. So the physical examination also tell us this is a sedimentary rock, belongs from a sedimentary rock. Then we will move toward a second test. It's called a Mohs hardness test. So when we scratch these stones from a key, so calcite is easily then the calcite define hardness 3 on the Mohs scale of the mineral hardness based on the scratch hardness competition. So field samples are determining its hardness conjure stone near to 3. So when I use coin and a key, so it easily scratch. The third one is the acidic test. When carbonation or some of the limestone came with contact with the acid, so it effervesces on reacting with the acid and are applied to. So on top of this on this stone, when acid is when acid is put on this stone, so it make an effervescence and make a reaction with this stone. So it also confirm that it is a sedimentary, belong from sedimentary rock, and also a continuation of a calcite. So then the scan electronic microscope test, SEM, called SEM, the thin section from the same deposit. Note that the laminate having a irregular shapes, so it also confirmed that it belongs from a carbonaceous strata. So and then the conjure stone is with contact with the radio spectrometer, so it also confirm small dipping and ABC portions, which tell us that it's belong to a calcite material. Then also results came from a geochemical analysis also shows that there is a high content of a calcium there in this object. There is two cross validation process in radio spectrometer. The first one is the specific for a mineral, and the second one is a mixture. So for minerals, it gave us that this is calcite. But when we turn towards the mixture base, so it also tells us that this belongs from a limestone. And also it also give a further detail when we visit to USGS site. So it also tells that what is the wavelength, what is the average reads per the spectroscopic reads, and also tell us about their contamination like calcium carbonates plus impurities. So these all are the a workflow that how GIS and remote sensing and also sophisticated equipments and also standard technology used in every field of life, like in ecology. So this material called the calcareous tufa or a travertine, hard dense variety of a tufa, which was used in ancient carving activities. So this is all about the importance and application of remote sensing, the satellite sensor, the electromagnetic spectrums used in different feature to define the mineral exploration. I will request Mr. Shahab if he will give me 30 minutes for tomorrow, then I will proceed some practical session delineating different geological feature and mineral exploration activities. Shahab, hand over to you kindly. Okay. 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 Okay, okay, no problem for me. But just inform me today that which time is suitable for me for tomorrow. Okay, okay, no problem. Come towards the audience if they have some questions regarding the study.